I'm going to show you exactly how to go from working the gym floor or in a 9 to 5 job with little to no online income to the point where you're making between £5,000 and £10,000 per month from online coaching. Because right now, this is probably what it's starting to feel like. This is my depiction of how it feels to start online coaching. You're probably getting pulled in different directions. You're probably receiving conflicting advice. And ultimately, you're just sat with no starting point. You just don't know what the first action is that you should perform in order to see your business start to grow. Now, from a fundamental level, the thing that you have to understand is there's really only three things stopping you from actually getting to the point where you're making between 5 and 10K per month. Number one is that we've got a small audience, or we don't have a growing audience. Number two is that you don't know how to convert an audience. And then number three is that you have an unstructured delivery. Now, if you have a small audience, it's going to give you this disheartening feeling like you've got nobody to sell to, and that's probably going to make you feel like it's never going to work. It's so hard to visualize how you're going to make money and how you're going to build a business if you don't actually see the people you can even sell to. You've got the same three people liking your posts, your cousin, your dog, and your girlfriend, and you're just getting low engagement on content, which ultimately gives you no leads. You've just got nobody to sell to. So we've got to fix that problem first. The next thing that we have to fix is your conversion, actually being able to convert an audience. Now, if you are at this stage and you are trying to do this, but you're experiencing problems and you're not at 5 to 10K per month, then you're probably experiencing a lot of rejection and your confidence is plummeting. You're probably hearing, I can't afford it often. It's feeling like nobody is interested in online coaching or nobody is interested specifically in your offer. You ultimately have no system to follow. And if you've got an unstructured delivery and you just don't know how to deliver an online service, then you're likely getting this crippling imposter syndrome because you're new to online. It makes sense. And you just have no clarity on like how this works. You're just not clear. You don't know which apps to use. You ultimately have no product. So how are you meant to sell something with conviction? How are you meant to go onto a sales call or go onto your social media and sell something tangible if you don't actually know how to structure that? So the three things that we're going to talk about today and the three things that I'm going to give you direction on is number one, growing your audience. Number two, getting clients every single week by converting that audience. And then number three is getting consistent results from those clients. I'm going to give you the fundamentals. Can I give you absolutely everything in a YouTube video? Probably not, right? I'm just going to be really transparent. I'm probably not going to be able to give you absolutely everything that you need in this one video, which is why I suggest that if you are trying to grow your online coaching business, go and book a call with me below. Yes, of course, we work with coaches. You're probably going to get a lot of having a conversation with me on the phone and potentially coming into the program. So there's a link below for that. But I am going to give you like the steps in this video the best I can and in the other videos on this channel. So if you are new here, then definitely subscribe. So how does online coaching actually work? Before you even get on a call with me or start doing anything with your online coaching business or take another step, please, please, please understand what online coaching actually is and essentially what it is that you're selling from a fundamental level. The reason why most online coaches don't make the type of money that they want to make, or they end up with these three problems, is because they aren't doing this from first principles. They're not doing this from the fundamental levels of the business. Now, how to start your offer is very, very simple. There's only two things that you have to consider. Where are my clients now in terms of what is their current situation on the line of progression within your chosen niche? And what is their desired outcome? What is it that they want to achieve? For example, your desired outcome is that you want to make between 5 and 10K per month. Your current situation is that you're currently working the gym floor or you're working in a 9 to 5 job with little to no online income, right? So my offer is taking you through this, and I'm delivering that both through my content, through my product, all of the above, right? So that desired outcome is really important to consider, and it has to be tangible. So the reason why we have to be specific with this and talk to specific pains is because ultimately that's what makes people act. We buy things because we are in pain or because we have desire. Those are the two reasons that we spend money, right? Like I bought this this bottle of water because I don't want to die of thirst. It looks really orange right now. I put creatine and pre-workout in it because I want to have more energy for my gym workout and I want to get a better pump with the creatine, whatever, right? So like, all of those either serve a desire or they solve a pain. Now, once the pain gets so high, what happens is people reach an action threshold, right? You will get so thirsty that you decide to drink. You will be so broke that you decide to work. You will be so unhappy with your body that you decide to go to the gym and hire a personal trainer, right? So understanding what pains specifically people have in your niche is very, very important, because then you can aggravate that pain in your marketing and you can help people take action, and you can speak to those pains and solve those specific problems, just like I'm doing here in this video. Like, I'm talking to your specific pains, I'm solving your problems so that this is valuable to you, so that you're like here, like, okay, this is useful, this is worth my time. Does that make sense? Not to make it weird and like explain what it is that I'm doing to you in this video, but like that is a good way to sort of learn this. Don't listen to what people say, watch what they do, sort of thing. Learn from what I'm, doing in my own marketing. I think that's important as well. It's what we teach our clients. So with your desired outcome, what happens is the fulfillment of that desire gets so low that the action threshold is reached. So look, you're no longer in the business of trading your time and resources for money. You're in the business of exchanging money for solutions to people's problems and helping them achieve their desired outcome. Value is created when you alleviate pain and help people achieve their desired outcome. So once the pain is all the way gone, and you've increased the fulfillment for the desired outcome, that equals what your offer actually is. If you're wondering, well, what is an online offer? How does that work? That's it. That's the definition of it. Now, just doing this alone, just deciding on this alone and setting that as a fundamental in your business can have a huge impact. With one of our clients, Ray, he was actually able to make around $9,000 within the first 3 weeks of us working together. And we didn't even implement any special fancy post strategy or do any weird outreach or run ads. It was simply because we got clear on this. So I can't stress how important it actually is. But the way that you decide this is you've literally just got to ask yourself, write down on a pen and paper right now, what is the pain that you will alleviate for people? And what is the outcome you will take people to? If you can answer those two questions, you have your offer. If you're still not getting results and still not getting interest of some sort or more engagement on social media, then it's likely that your outcome is too intangible or not specific enough, or we're not communicating it in a way which is actually speaking to the people who have those pains. Niching down. This is the last part on the offer stuff. But niching down, you've probably, again, been pulled in different directions thinking, okay, do I niche down? How do I niche down? What does that even look like? Well, look, there's many different opinions on it, but without a doubt, one like surefire way of actually making this online stuff work is niching down to some extent and making your offer refined and specific. Because the problem is, when you say that you can help everybody, what happens is your impact is spread across a bunch of people, making it more diluted, making it less powerful and potent. It has no impact and it misses everybody. Whereas if you say that you help a specific group of people achieve a specific outcome, then it has a concentrated purpose leading to a higher impact, right? This is just me trying to be clever, to be honest, but like impact force amplification is like basically where if there is a more refined point that impacts a surface, then it's going to have more impact because of the refined point, as opposed to it being a more spread out point. Having a large impact on a large group, because ultimately, like, I know that you probably eventually want to have a larger impact, you want to have a broader offer, and that's great. However, to get to that, having a large impact on a large group, it starts with having a large impact on a small group and not the other way around. So once you've decided on your offer, we've got to focus on growing your audience. And I say growing your audience instead of getting more followers or getting more traffic, because ultimately that is what you should be focused on. We should be focused on getting audience members who are connected to you and what it is that you do, and not necessarily just growing the numbers on your Instagram, because I know people with 20k, 30k, 40k followers on Instagram and they make less than £5,000 per month. I have a client who's got less than 500 Instagram followers. He makes over 20,000 euros every single month. And look, I'll be honest, getting traffic is easy because it's everywhere. We live in what's known as the attention economy. And really, there's only actually 3 ways to grow an audience and get traffic through social media. Now, anybody that tells you differently, or anybody that tells you that there's more ways than this, what they are likely doing is just dressing up whatever fancy system they've put together into one of these buckets. But ultimately, like, just understand this is the truth. These are the 3 things, the 3 actions that you can take to actually get people to find out that you are alive and that you have an offer and that you're a person. So number one is what is called manual discovery, what we call manual discovery. And this is just one-to-one. Basically, you reaching out to somebody directly, or you sending them a friend request on Facebook, a connection request on LinkedIn, or following them on Instagram. Basically, you just coming up as a one-to-one notification in one of their social media platforms. So look, if you have no money, no audience, no content experience, then this is not a very nice way to grow your audience. It's not going to feel amazing for you at first, but this is probably what you should be doing, genuinely. And it sucks. Like, reaching out to people one-to-one, it's not amazing. But look, like, doing what needs to be done, if you do like 50 to 100 people per day, you follow them, you send them a friend request on Facebook, connection request on LinkedIn, the likelihood of you getting like between 30 and 40 new people come onto your page every single day is really, really high. And if you optimize your page, and it's around your offer, right? And it's very clear what it is that you do. And the more clear it is, then we can assume that they've followed your page somewhat because of that. They've looked at your page, gone, oh, so-and-so helps people achieve weight loss. I'm trying to lose weight. Yeah, sure, I'll follow. So we can assume that they have some sort of intent when coming to your page. Not the highest intent they could possibly have, but there's, it's a sliding scale. There's something there. The next thing is organic content. As you know, posting shorts, posting reels, posting YouTube videos, that's one to infinite. That's obviously like this YouTube video. So look, if you have no money, if you have some audience and some content experience and you want to convert your current audience and grow your following at the same time, then you should be doing this. Now, honestly, in all cases, if you're not currently making a daily post, then that's probably like the thing that you should be doing to grow your coaching business right now, once you've refined your offer and figured out what that's going to look like. So yeah, organic content's really important. And then lastly is ads. So that's one to a controlled amount. And when I say one to a controlled amount, I mean you can literally figure out what the CPM is, which stands for cost per 1,000 impressions. If you don't know what impressions are, it's essentially just a person seeing like your media online. So basically with ads, let's say like the average CPM, just as an example, I don't actually know what it is right now. It's different for different industries. Let's say the average CPM is £10. So it costs you £10 to put your content in front of 1,000 people. So you can control how many people see your content. You can work out from those impressions how many people click onto your profile or how many people follow you. So look, if you have between £10,000 and £15,000 or dollars in the bank, you have no audience, you have no content experience, and you want to be in control of your leads and do it faster and be in control of your income, then running ads is something that you should definitely consider and will speed things up for you. With Alex, for example, we actually run a mixture. And look, with these, just as a side note, with these audience growth strategies, I would recommend either doing manual discovery. Again, this is for if you're starting with no money right now, you need to do manual discovery and organic content. But if you do have a bit of money, then you need to do ads and organic content. If you're doing ads and organic content, I wouldn't bother with manual discovery just because it's time consuming and you're, getting the lowest quality of leads by doing this because you're actively having to sort of reach out to people. Don't bother doing all three because your time is better spent if you're not going to be doing manual discovery on refining this content and making it better so that you can have that infinite loop of new people finding you way, way faster. And that's the point that we're at with Alex. He is doing a mixture between organic content on Instagram and running ads, and he's getting an average of 35 new followers every single day onto his page, which is incredibly clear who he helps and what he helps people do. I'll help you craft a lifestyle that makes fat loss effortless. Weight loss coach. It's so clear what he does so that those 35 new people that are coming onto his page each day, they're pretty hard not to consider as leads. So once we've got these leads, once we've found these people, how do we actually take people from cold to sold? Because it's not as simple as somebody views your content and then they buy your product. As you probably know, if you've been posting content, it doesn't go that way, right? So people will take action when the pain gets high enough and the desire is strong enough. Like we said before, we've got to help people reach this action threshold. And again, I know that that's not a very implementable thing, but just to give you an example of this is that when I'm speaking to these pains, when I'm talking to you and saying, right, you're getting the disheartening feeling that it's never going to work. You got the same 3 people liking your post. You're probably thinking, yes, that's true. That's exactly what's going on, right? And that is aggravating your pain. Which what is that? What is that doing? It's helping you it's empowering you and giving you the motivation to take action, whether that's to take action and book a call with myself, or whether that is to take action and like actually make your business work. It aggravates that pain and it helps people reach that action threshold. And that's ultimately what you want to be doing in your content. We want to be speaking and connecting to that pain and then painting out the desire. And the way that you might do this is by providing things like social proof. I'm showing you what you could have by working with us, right? Which is probably making you think, damn, I should probably consider talking with Tom, or talking with a business mentor. It's not about me, but that is how you can do those two things. So even if you do that though, like this doesn't mean that they'll actually buy your coaching. Even so, like even as we're saying this, it doesn't mean that people are just gonna be like, right, okay, I'm gonna book a call with them, or I'm gonna DM them, and I'm gonna join their coaching, because ultimately we have to position you as the gap, right? We have to position you as the bridge between the gap, I should say, between their current situation and their desired outcome. Now, really, we've got three things to understand here. Let me just make me small for a second. We've got three things to understand here, because there are a few different things going on in content which force people to buy. Like we said, we've got that pain and that that desire fulfillment that we're looking at, which helps people to take action. But we've also got to build what's known as know, like, and trust. This is a really fundamental thing in marketing. Making sure that people know stuff about you, they somewhat like you, and they trust you, which is very, very important, is half of the battle when it comes to selling people. So look, if you're able to do both these things, if you're able to increase the know, like, and trust and aggravate that pain and the lack of fulfillment and desire, then you have a 100% chance of people buying from you. Those people are going to see you as the authority. Their pain's going to be high enough to the point where they're like, yep, okay, I'm going to take action, with Tom, and I'm going to buy his thing, right? If the pain isn't high enough and we're not aggravating that pain enough, then there's a 50% chance of people buying from you. And that's only if the know, like, and trust is also being raised. So basically what I'm saying here is, like, you can just be likable and people will probably buy from you. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but if you have if you look at anybody with a really strong brand out there, love him or hate him, if you look at Mr. Beast, one of the biggest YouTubers out there, he's loved by loads of people because he makes this wholesome content where he gives away money and he does it in great amounts. He doesn't really seem to care about his own funds or whatever, right? And a lot of people buy from him just because it's him. Like, for example, he has a chocolate bar. I'm pretty sure it's called Feastables. No, I think that's he has like a Lunchable remake called Feastables. He has these basically bad products. Like, they're not really that good. They're like a knockoff of Lunchables, if anybody remembers what a Lunchable is. Or is it called Lunchly? I don't know what his thing's called. But what I'm trying to say here is that it doesn't necessarily solve a particular pain or a problem, and it's not even that good in terms of fulfilling a desire. Like, it's not even that tasty. It's not filling in terms of a meal that he gives away. But people buy that just because they know him, they like him, and they trust him. Right? So it's powerful. You can make money just based off that. Now, if you increase the pain, and you do this the other way around, you increase the pain, but you don't increase the know, like, and trust, then what happens is people have a 100% chance of buying from somebody else and not you. So just be aware of that happening. Now, there's really two types of content. You've got content that grows your audience, like we spoke about before with your organic content, and then you've got content that converts and warms your audience up, right? Now, ideally, what we want to be doing with your content is we want to be making sure that the content that you're posting is giving you opportunities to reach out to people. So I'm going to give you a breakdown of ultimately what happens once you're doing the right things with your content and what your focus needs to be for getting people into your DMs, getting people onto calls, and starting to convert people into clients. So really, we have two things to focus on in your funnel. We have growing the audience, so getting traffic like we spoke about before, and we've got converting those audience members into clients. Now, there's the three ways of growing your audience: ads, organic content, and manual discovery. What's going to happen from there is people will see that content, see that ad, they'll see that notification from you, they'll come to your profile. The next thing that's going to happen from there in the funnel is they'll start to view your content. Now, your content should do a few different things. Like we said, it should be growing your audience and it should be converting and nurturing your audience. But what that actually looks like, because you're probably thinking, well, what does conversion and nurture actually look like? What that looks like is two things. It's either increased engagement or it's people reaching out to you in the DMs to go ahead and start an interaction, initiating an interaction with you to give you an excuse to go and continue a conversation with them, book them onto a call, send them through to a payment page for your product, all these different routes that you can go down. But ultimately, the simplest way of doing this and the simplest way of getting people to talk to you and to engage with you is by presenting lead magnets. Now, lead magnets are essentially just free guides and resources that you're giving away. And these should be things that solve people's problems very specifically. For example, we have one lead magnet, which is our transition to online blueprint. And many of you will have clicked on an ad and ended up on this video from that lead magnet on Facebook. And that's probably given us an excuse and probably given us a reason to go ahead and have a conversation with you in the DMs. And it's connected us, right? That's what the lead magnets do. It connects people together so that they can have a conversation on the phone or they can have a conversation in the DMs. And ultimately, this is how you can start to connect to your clients or potential clients. And from there, you're going to be taking them into the DMs, right? Now, this is the simplest way of doing it. From 0 to 5K, I would recommend just doing a simple DM funnel, having that conversation in the DMs and going ahead and booking them onto a call. Now, if you want the framework for DM conversations, maybe just drop a comment down below just saying like, hey, yeah, I want education on how to book calls. Really, we shouldn't call it DMs because DMs just isn't sexy. But really what this is appointment setting. It's not definitely not how you spell appointment. Really what DMs is appointment setting appointments onto your calendar. So there's many different ways of doing that, but DMs in this early stage are going to be the easiest way of doing it. Now, if you want a video on DMs, just go and leave a comment down below letting me know that, because I'm more than happy to run you through my whole DM strategy to show you exactly how to do those and actually book calls. I mean, I think we had a couple of days ago where we booked like 7 calls in one day. So look, we really know what we're doing when it comes to setting calls and getting sales calls and whatnot. But from there, the structure might look something like this. You might go straight to a sales call. So people might go from your DMs straight to a sales call, and then you'll turn them into a client from the sales call. Or if you're dealing with a really cold audience and people are being like super, super, super skeptical of you, like you're experiencing a lot of, rejection and I can't afford it and it feels like nobody's interested in the offer, what I would actually recommend doing is having a discovery call, which is like a short 15-minute call where you're pretty much just going to figure out what that person's goals are, where it is they're trying to go, what it is that they're trying to achieve. And then from that discovery call, you'll book them onto a sales call. So the way that you would start the discovery call is like, hey, we're just going to have a quick catch up, figure out what it is that you need. Then if I think I can help more, I'll invite you to a second, slightly longer call to see if we're a good fit and you want to actually join the program. So then when they're getting on that sales call, they're actually getting on the sales call with super high intent to potentially buy something. And you can increase the likelihood of them buying something if between the discovery call and the sales call, you send them like a personalized Loom video or just a personalized video or some form of nurture content. Maybe it's like a longer form guide to go ahead and connect people. For example, I might have sent you this in between our discovery call and the call of you getting on, to potentially buy from us, right? And you might be watching this video right now as our piece of nurture content so that you can get like the full picture on how things work. And look, that's been really successful. I've made hundreds and hundreds of thousands doing this exact structure. And then obviously you take them to the close. Now, in terms of delivery, we're not going to speak too much on delivery in this video today, but let me just paint out for you what your delivery should look like if you're getting a little bit confused or you're wondering, okay, like, well, how do I actually deliver a program? Because obviously that is the last thing that we need to cover with this. So really, there's only 3 things to focus on in the early stages, especially if you've got a fitness offer. You've got programming, you've got nutrition, and you've got accountability. Now, I'll be really, really honest with you. This is super, super easy to do in the early stages. What I would strongly recommend or strongly advise against is do not go and set this up until you've got a client. Do not go and set up the way that you deliver programs, the way that you deliver nutrition advice, all the accountability systems until you've actually gone ahead and got clients. And the reason for this is because up until you've sold around £100,000 or $100,000 worth of clients, you have no idea what makes a good product, especially if you've not ran anything like this. You haven't made enough sales. Like then that you haven't got the feedback. So ultimately, what you're going to be doing is making an inaccurate, not a bad product. I'm not to say that like you're going to be bad at what you're doing here, but an inaccurate product that doesn't necessarily suit the people that you're trying to serve in the best way that it possibly can. Now, the way that I would run these 3 things, because you're probably thinking, yeah, that's great, but like, how do I actually do those things? Well, I would have all of these on one app, and I would probably use Trainer Eyes. It's called Trainer Eyes. I'll maybe link it in the description just so that you can go and click it. If you just type in Trainer, and then I believe it's IZE, Trainer Eyes. So I would use that just because it can set up programs. You can link it to MyFitnessPal so you can track nutrition and put like nutrition PDFs on there. And then you can also hold people accountable. You can do your check-ins through there. It does most of the work for you. It is the perfect product for what's known as MVP. MVP stands for minimum viable product, and it takes you less than 5 minutes to set up, and it's super easy. And there's guides everywhere on the internet showing you how to do this and how to structure this. Now, as you go further down the line, and as you're trying to get to, let's just get rid of all this stuff. As you're trying to get to your, 5 to 10K months, you are going to want to have a more sophisticated system for actually going ahead and delivering results, right? You're going to want to have more structure because, again, it's on a sliding scale. You're getting more structure, but is it as structured as it possibly could be? Probably not. We want a process in place that you can take people through, like we have with our clients. We recognize 3 simple problems that stop people from getting to where they want to be, and we provide 3 simple solutions that help them get there. And because of that, we have one of the highest success rates in the industry. So, guys, I hope that was helpful. If you do want to have a chat with myself about growing your online coaching business, then I recommend going to the link below. You'll click that. There'll be a link to book a call, but there'll also be a short video just explaining a little bit more in depth around what we do. Of course, if you are jumping on that call, it is absolutely there for me to go ahead and help you make a decision to become one of our clients and have us, work with you and really make sure that you can get to between 5 and 10K over the next 6 or so months. So yeah, look, really appreciate you watching. If you found it valuable, give the channel a subscribe, give the video a like and all that, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.